Is Syria on the brink of another crisis? Over 12 million people have been displaced in Syria. What's next for the country? In today's video, I will dive into the latest situation in Syria, what's happening in the ground, and how it affects the world. Let's break down the latest updates. Do you think the situation will improve anytime soon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want to stay updated on global issues, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's dive in. The Syrian conflict began in March 2011 as part of the Arab Spring, a wave of protests that spread across the Middle East and North Africa. The protests in Syria started in the southern city of Dara, where demonstrators called for democratic reforms and anti-government corruption and greater political freedoms. Inspired by revolutions in Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya, Syrians took to the streets demanding change. The Syrian government, led by President Bashar al-Assad, responded with a violent crackdown. Security forces fired on protesters, arrested activists, and used extreme force to suppress dissent. Instead of stopping the protests, the crackdown fueled anger, and demonstrations spread to other cities including Damascus, Aleppo, and Homs. As violence escalated, the government began using the military against protesters, turning the situation into a nationwide conflict. By May 2011, opposition groups formed armed militias to fight back against government forces. These groups made up of defeated soldiers and civilians became known as the Free Syrian Army (FSA). The situation quickly turned into a civil war with the various factions fighting for control. Some groups aimed to overthrow Assad, while others had different political and religious agendas. As the war continued, extremist groups like ISIS, Islamic State, and Al Qaeda took advantage of the chaos to expand their influence. By 2014, ISIS had seized large parts of Syria and Iraq, adding another dangerous element to the conflict. The war in Syria had now become not only a battle between the government and rebels, but also a fight against terrorist organizations. This early period of the war set the stage for years of destruction, suffering, and international involvement. Syria became a battleground for different groups, each with their own interests and goals. The protests that started as peaceful demonstrations had now turned into one of the deadliest conflicts of the 21st century. The Syrian war has caused immense suffering from millions of people. Since 2011, more than 5 lakh people have been killed and millions have been injured. Many of these casualties include innocent civilians caught in bombings, airstrikes, and clashes between warring groups. One of the biggest humanitarian crises caused by the war is the displacement of people. Over 13 million Syrians have been forced to leave their homes. Around 6.8 million have fled other countries as refugees, mainly to Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, and Europe. The remaining 6.2 million are internally displaced, meaning they have moved to different parts of Syria to escape violence. These refugees face harsh conditions, with many living in overcrowded camps with limited access to food, water, and medical care. The war has also destroyed Syria's infrastructure. Cities like Aleppo, Homs, and Raqqa have been heavily bombed, leaving schools, hospitals, and homes in ruins. Basic services such as electricity, clear water, and healthcare have become rare in many areas. Children have suffered greatly from the conflict, with millions missing out on education and growing up in war. Human rights violations have been widespread in Syria. Reports of chemical weapon attacks, mass execution, torture, and attack on civilians have shocked the world. The Syrian government, rebel groups, and terrorist organizations have all been accused of committing war crimes, despite efforts by international organizations to bring justice. Accountability remains limited. The psychological toll of the war is also severe. Millions of Syrians, especially children, suffer from trauma, anxiety, and depression. Many have lost family members and witnessed unmanageable horror. The long term impact on Syria's population will take decades to heal. The Syrian war has drawn in multiple foreign countries, turning it into a complex international conflict. Involvement of global and regional powers has made the situation even more difficult to resolve. Russia has been one of the strongest supporters of the Syrian government. In 2015, Russia sent military forces and launched airstrikes to help Assad regain territory. Russia's intervention played a key role in turning the war in Assad's favor. The United Nations and United States initially supported some rebel groups fighting against Assad. However, the US later shifted its focus to defeating ISIS. American-led airstrikes targeted IS fighters, and the US provided support to Kurdish groups in northern Syria, who played a crucial role in defeating ISIS. Turkey, Syria's northern neighbor, has also been deeply involved. Turkey opposes Assad's government, but is mainly concerned about Kurdish forces in Syria. Turkey sees Kurdish militias as a security threat and has launched military operations to push them away from its border. Iran has supported Assad by sending military advisors and fighters from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard and allied militias, including Hezbollah from Lebanon. Iran's involvement has strengthened Assad's position, but has also increased tensions with other countries, particularly Israel and the US. Israel has carried out airstrikes in Syria, mainly targeting Iranian and Hezbollah forces. Yet Israel fears that Iran is using Syria as a base to attack Israeli territory. These airstrikes have raised concerns about further regional escalation. Overall, the involvement of foreign powers has prolonged the war, making it difficult to find a peaceful solution. Each country has its own interests, which complicates efforts to end the conflict.
Au revoir.